everyone. I hope you can see and hear me okay. I am late today as usual, and I have figured out that starting the time I've set as standard, it's 8 o'clock in the evening in Sweden, is too early because it's our son's bedtime and yeah, stuff like that. So I'm going to put a later time in the future, just to be sure not to be late every single time because it's annoying. So I'm going to have to correct that. And yeah, so today was going to be me journaling in my journal for the first time, or I have already started out actually, and I am going to show you my journal that I made last stream and the stream before that, but I will not be able to work on it today because it's my son's last day at his daycare, and so I'm making gifts for it's two I don't know what you say, it's called like daycare mom or something in Sweden, but there's two of them that has been very special to him, so I'm making them some gifts. And so basically we're making gift bags for it's a flower in big teacup as a flower pot. So I'm making gift bags and some cards for them. But I was thinking that I should start with I should start with like a micro haul. I got this like handheld sewing machine today, and it's a really cheap one. It's from a store, it's called Flying Tiger nowadays, and I'm not really sure, it was TGR before, but so this is what it looks like. So I was thinking it could be fun to try it, see how it works. So I get this, it's a teeny weeny mini sewing machine, like a bag for storage. Oops. And white thread, instructions, and a threader, and I'm not really sure what this is, but I guess, oh, it's for this, I think. So I'm not sure if you can just start, it's like already threaded, it seems here, but for sewing machines you should have, it's 2 threads, I think. That's the whole point of, so you can add larger threads to it. So just put the thread through here, and they've already done that, and through here, and they've already done that as well, and through the needle, and then you should pull the thread forward, just so now I've got like the thread here. It's a bit there. So I guess it should just be to start sewing now. Let's try it out. Or you can lift this up. I don't know if you can like adjust the length of the stitches. This doesn't seem to work at all. How disappointing. But I don't know how it's supposed to work with only one thread. Like, is it supposed to... How? I don't know, I have to try this again later on. But yeah, it's supposed to work like that. When it works, I'm sure it's a really good thing. So I might have to return this and see if there's something wrong with this particular one, or if it's, you know, it's a photo model. Flying Tiger isn't really known for their high quality in stuff, so to speak. So, and I got these tapes from China, and it was a 10-pack. My son has already confiscated some of the tape rolls, so these are the ones I have left, or the ones I saved. So it's just like assorted. You get like a 10-pack with different stuff. So, oops, I got those, and I got these also really beautiful washi tapes from China, and I've already used some of the packaging because the packaging was really cute. So I made a tab from this one for my journal. Same with this one, I used this here to make a tab. So, and it's very pretty washi, so I'm going to use this and be very happy about it. Yeah, I can't open this, but as you can see on the packaging, it's like cherry blossom and some other flowers and like apple blossoms, I think. So I'm saving the packaging. I might find something fun to do with them. And oh yeah, this is one of the other like more tapes from the 10-pack that I had, and these mushroom, or this mushroom tape as well, if I can get inside the packaging. There we go. So really cute washi. I've seen people use this. Very cute. So if I'm making another like woodland themed journal, I will definitely use the mushroom one or the other. I was thinking the next one will be a floral one. So I'm saving the packaging for that one. Yeah, and I'm going to show my journal. So this is how it turned out after I was like done with the cover. And there's something I never finish my projects like in the sense that I make them and they're done. I always like change my mind, do something different, you know, add something, remove something, redo something. I always do it like that. So last stream I made the scrap lace spine, and I removed some of the lace and then I replaced some of the lace with musical note paper because I wanted it to be a little bit less tidy. I wanted it to be more whimsical and like more stuff going on. So I added the musical note paper and put the tuva on the front because this is my journal. This it's not musical, this is a book paper, and it's in German, I think, with some silk. And then I stamped some like things that is going to be inside the journal, like hope and love and memories and my wishes, of course. So, and I figured out a way to add the tassel, and I just made a hole here and I threaded it through so I can like take it off anytime I want. So, and I'm going to like add an eyelet or something, because this is not going to look this neat forever. It was just like a quick solution to it. And here's my tassel, very pretty tassel. So, and I redid the binding because I wasn't happy with how it looked when with the I glued like 2 smaller papers together to make the signature, and I only had like this tea stain paper, and I wanted to add more, so I have like wallpaper samples, because I'm left with a lot of wallpaper samples after we redecorated this apartment that we're currently living in, because when we bought it, it was really in like a rough shape. So I have tons and tons of these wallpaper samples, so I use them in my projects. So I added stuff like musical note papers. These are from a mixed media planner thing I got from Faithful Designs by Christy when I won her giveaway, and I thought they were a really nice touch to this. So there's many different sizes and different textures to the journal. So I added some, I was thinking I could add something extra here, like an envelope, or just leave it like this, add photos or quotes. And sometimes I glue these down, and sometimes I just leave them open. So on these I can make pockets with them. Here's one of the tabs. Here's also some tabs. I'm going to make more, but you know, it's an ongoing. I haven't really felt very inspired like lately. It's been hard, even though I like have ideas and want to craft. I mostly just sit and look at the papers. It's really annoying, actually, kind of frustrating, you know. So, but as you can see, I used like a strip of paper and glued over. Actually, it was somebody watching my stream who came up with the idea or told me about it. She had seen like a tutorial from another YouTuber. So, but I think that she punched her papers to make a pretty border, but I just did this, and I thought that I could cover it with lace or washi, as I had done here. And I add a little photo here of my husband and my son. So yeah, that's what I've changed. And I redid the spine here, this part. I wanted it a bit more sturdy, so I added an additional layer to the spine, but like otherwise it's mostly the same. I added this pocket here as well, just for, I have an envelope with some photos that I'm going to journal about. So, and here's the back. I think I'm going to add like my signature here, or maybe I'm going to make one of those stamps. I'm not really sure yet. I'm yet to figure something out. But so this is my journal, and as you can see, I've already started journaling a little, but you know, it's like when it looks so pretty and you don't want to mess it up. So it's almost like I'm scared to use it. I don't know. It's hard, and it's a bit big actually. I should have made it in a smaller format, but you know, you learn. So going to put this away. And I was thinking that I'm going to make gift bags, and I have like 2 ideas for this project. And the one is that I will use, like, I have this bag from just shopping center, and I can cover it with wrapping paper just to make it like prettier. So I was thinking that that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make it like smaller. I hope the crinkling sound isn't too bad. And my desk is so messy, but I hate cleaning up. It's so annoying, it takes forever for some reason. I don't know why. So maybe I can make like 2 gift bags. I was thinking that it's just going to be big enough to cover the pot, so you can lift it up, and then I'm going to make like bag handles with lace or some kind of ribbon. Together here, so I guess we're just thinking I could pull it apart like this. Yeah. So here's the bag, and I am going to use like 2 pieces of this. Yeah, this is going to be on the inside, so it doesn't really matter that like the original pattern shines through a little. I wonder if I can just pull this off. If I'm going to make like holes in the... Didn't really think this one through. I'm going to just have to... Oh. There we go. Just going to have to glue something over that. Or something. Yeah, so I have like a wrapping paper here. I don't know if my desk is big enough, but we're sure to find out. So I'm going to remove this. I think it would be if I cleaned it up, probably. So this is going to work out fine if my glue will still hold together, but we're just going to use like regular glue stick for this. If I can find it. There we go. This one is a little bit dry because I left it out without the cap on, because I can't, or I know where the cap is. It's in the living room underneath the armchair, but when I saw it I was like busy doing something else. So I left it there. I was thinking, yeah, I should really take care of that, and I didn't. Silly me. thinking this could work. And you know, if you have some nice paper, this is just like the super annoying hard way to do something. So there's no need to do it like this if you already have nice paper. But I don't really want to use like good scrapbooking paper for gift bags, not this size at least. It should be like, if I wanted to make gift bags out of this size, it should be two 12 wide by 12 sheets. It's not that bad, I guess. And I'm just folding this over the edge. I will probably fold it once more, but it will make it more sturdy. And I really like it when it's sturdy, so we're going to do that. And I need, so when the light shines through it, you can actually see the pattern even through this gold. And now I realize that the paper gets a bit crinkly, so it won't look as neat as it could, I guess. I might just scrap this and use like wallpaper samples instead. They would make really neat gift bags, I guess. It's a possibility. So yeah, I'm going to fold it one more time. Here. But I'm gluing it together first. Here on the side. So I can like fold it over neatly. And I'm getting glue on the table. Don't like that. Let's see if I can find it. I have some baby wipes here. I'm just gluing them together. So, and I did after all add glue before I to the around the edge. It could be more smart or clever to do it afterwards. On the other hand, it's a bit more tricky to add glue when it's like a circle. So it depends on what your preferences are, I guess. now I'm going to fold it one time. Let's see how it looks. So I'm going to fold here. This is going to be like the part that folds inward. And I don't have like an exact science for this. I'm just winging it and trying to see how it goes. And then I think I should probably use my scoreboard for this. And I don't have my scoring tool here, so I'm just going to have to, you know, if you can do this before, and I can't find anything right now. You could do this before you glue everything together. That would be like the most clever thing to do. And this is just to get the same measurements on both sides, so it has nothing to do with what's, well, I guess that it has to do with the depth of the bag. So this needs to be wider if you want the bag to be deeper. So this is, for instance, not deep enough for the bag that I am making, but we're just going to do it the way it was intended, and then see how it goes. So now I'm folding them the other way, so it turns into a bag. You can see we have a bag. So now I'm going to look at the bottom because I have no idea what I'm doing really. So it's folded like this. Like all of it is folded inward. Yeah, it's that easy. And if you're smart, you should do marks for that too. And it's probably the same as the mark here from the side, because you want the bottom to be the same width as this part here. So that's what we're doing. It's like 1 1/8 of an inch on this particular bag. So that's going to make it a lot more easy to know where to fold. Can you see what I'm doing? So now that we have like a flap here, and we're going to make another flap, same kind on the other side. Like this. So, and as you can see, I made a mistake. So that's not how you do it. Let's try like the double. Oops. Like 2 1/4 of an inch instead, if that's going to be better. So this is not a tutorial, this is more like a journey. We're making a journey together and discovering how to make a gift bag. So this is how I do when I craft. I just, you know, sit down and try stuff. I could just have watched a tutorial for gift bags. But yeah, I thought that it would be stinking easy to do. It's like, it's only to look at the other bag to see how it's made, and then I can make it. And yeah, usually that's how you can do it. It just takes more time, I guess, to like discover things by yourself. But I also really like that kind of I like that kind of crafting, when you discover. The discovering kind of crafting. So here's a pretty ugly bottom of a craft gift bag. But here's, yeah, it's done. It looks really bad. So it's a super ugly craft bag, gift bag, and it's you know, the right size, like the right height, but it needs to be like the same width here as here, maybe like this and this. So yeah, I cannot use this. At least not for that purpose. So I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to make like another attempt with this one, and it's going to be more of a template really, so I'm not going to bother covering it in paper. Let's see, we're making it 2 inches instead from the edge. Is it going to be thick enough? Further, let's see, if like 2.5. I don't know if I have enough paper bag for this. Probably don't. The sides turned out wider than this part here, so So that doesn't really work. So let's try the 2-inch instead. And to make another 2-inch mark here. Yeah, I think this is going to work. So this is what I'm going to do, but I'm not sure if the wrapping paper is going to be strong enough to hold it by itself. I didn't really think it worked very well to glue it on top of this, because the print shines through, which makes it really bad looking, unfortunately. So we just have to figure something out. No, we're going to try the wrapping paper. Maybe I can reinforce it in the bottom or something. It's not really supposed to be in a bag, it's more for show actually. I'm not sure if I have enough paper now for 2 bags. Just going to fold this in half and make 2 bags of it. In the end, I might just throw the whole thing away. It happens. It's very unusual, but it happens. I do that sometimes because I get so impatient. So we're putting that one aside. And just going to check the length. Yeah, I'm gluing this together first. how hard can it be to get it neat? Obviously, really difficult. So, and now I'm going to fold it here, just so we get the edge where I glued, like in the middle of the crease. The one that's going to be folded in, so it's going to be very not visible, very invisible. So I was thinking I need to do the same on the bottom, and I have figured out that I need to make it a little bit more than this. Here's going to be 2 inches, and this needs to be like 2 and maybe 1/4 of an inch or something, because it's going to be folded over each other. But I am going to score this on all the edges, because this is going to be scored where it's going to be folded in. This is going to be scored where I'm going to make the bottom, and these are going to be the sides. So I'm going to take back my scoreboard, and I do have a scoring tool. It's just that my son has played with it. I'm not really sure where it ended up. So, but the back side of this brush works really well. So there's 2 inches on each side, and yeah, I guess I could measure like this piece, just so it's not a secret on how big it is. I'm going to measure it with this one, just so when I use like inches for the other. There's 12. Yeah, it's almost 20 inches, about 20 inches. I would use to this 20 inches. So, and this is going to be, this is for the bottom. So I'm taking it like 2 1/4, and I hope that is going to be enough. No, I'm making it 2 1/2 just to make sure. I hope that's not a mistake. And then here I'm just going to do 1 inch, and that's the piece that's going to be folded inward. Just to make the bag more sturdy on top. So let's see now if we can make this work. So I'm going to start to add glue on the inside here where I'm, no, actually I'm going to fold it first, and then I'm going to add glue, just so it's like pre-folded. Before I try to glue it down. So here's the edge, all folded. This paper is probably too weak for this purpose. I can really feel, like when I'm working with it, that it's very flimsy, so I don't really recommend to use wrapping paper for this purpose, unless it's like a high quality sturdy wrapping paper, of course. sure I need to glue this. Yes, I should glue it. So I'm going to glue it. But I'm going to glue it like this. Like this. Kind of hard to get everything in frame while you work. It's like a totally new science for me. This, I don't know if it's like my 4th or my 5th stream. I like to think that I kind of get it now, how I should do things with the angles and stuff, but some stuff are still really tricky. So I think that if I do this like before, it will get easier, because I think the edges are folded like this, and this is a little bit crooked. So I'm folding them inward. I'm going to do it on in the other direction soon. I'm just like so. Here we go. We're going to fold the sides first. It's like when you try to fold a package, I guess. You know, the easiest thing would be to wrap a gift, you know, a box that's like the exact size that of bag that you want. It's like I feel stupid for not figuring that out from the beginning, but basically that's what you're doing. You're wrapping a gift and, you know, closing it. So that's what I'm going to do in the future when I make gift bags. Just like get a square box that I can wrap and then use glue instead of tape to make it, you know, more neat. But it's exactly the same thing. And at the same time, it's like I feel so silly for, you know, keeping this up, and that I didn't see the likeness. But yeah, okay, so now we know. It's just like wrapping a gift. So, and I guess that's the quickest way to do it as well. Just to, you know, wrap and glue and wrap and glue. But I am doing this the hard way. That's the thing when you don't watch tutorials or anything. You have to do a lot of extra work. end. It turned out really nice. So here's my gift bag. And I should have had my gift with me like from the start. I'm going to have to check if it fits. So here's the gift. Doesn't it look pretty? It's this flower in a teacup. So I think the bag is big enough, but is it strong enough? That's like the question. Yes. The bottom is not strong enough. You cannot lift it. The teacup is going to come crashing straight through this. So that's not going to work. But yeah, I think that if you just hand it over like this, maybe. If I make the handles, then the bag will probably be ruined, because this is just to make like the teacup less visible, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that, but I am going to make the other bag. At least. Yeah, I do feel so silly. Silly, silly, silly. But the other one is going to be a lot more easy. Oops. I tend to do that a lot. Like last stream, I punched the camera and just started to like film only my chair and my legs or my knees. Not very interesting to watch. They don't do that much. Mostly they just sit. So yeah, I'm going to have to make like a box the right size for my mini albums and junk journals. So I can use them for when I sell them. And then yeah, I'm going to have to figure out, because I think that I have to do the gluing and probably the scoring as well, because I need like the creases for the bag. And then the box, possibly. I'm not really sure. Did I do it 2.5? Yes, I think so. But I will have to figure something out, because, you know, having like some gift bags at home is just really nice if you have like relatives that have birthdays or whatever, friends' birthdays. And now that when I have kids or a kid, it's always, you know, friends' birthdays. So, and then it's good to have like the child card for kids, kid cards. Some gift bags, some random stuff for those things, so I don't have to really think about that when it comes up. I'm just going to quickly glue the top here. Now the bottom, and this is going to be a lot more easy now that I have figured it out, but still, you know. And I don't think I have a box the right size at the moment, so this is a bit, still a bit difficult just to like get it folded in the right way. Especially when the paper is like very soft and flimsy. My throat is kind of sore today. I am really suffering from very bad acid reflux, and I have done that for quite some time now, and it's like better some days and it's worse some days, and like the past few days has been really bad. I'm slowly getting better. I am going for like an exam in the end of July, but I'm not really happy about doing this examination, you know, when they go down through your throat to look inside your body. It's very, very scary. So yeah, but it's necessary because I can't live like this. It's really ruining every day when you go around and you don't feel like eating anything. Your throat gets really sore. You have like constant burning pain in your tummy and throat. Yeah, it's not very nice. And you know, when you constantly don't feel well, it's like you get filled with sadness. It's like I feel sad because, you know, I don't feel well, but there's not really anything in my life to be sad about. I'm really grateful. We living in a good place. I have a good relationship with my husband. You know, everything of the stuff, the normal stuff. You know, I have a summer break at the moment. I guess that I expected to get more work from like the temp agency that I work for, but you know, you will have to make do with what you have. That's not a problem. What's a problem is that I can't really eat anything because I had so much acid reflux. You know, this part, I didn't really think about this part. And I'm not really sure how to mimic that, you know, the V shape here without, is it like you need to fold the bag on one side? Well, it's not necessary now since we're going to just use it for the flower, but for the future I would really like to, excuse me, figure out how to do that. So, but we're going to stay with those bags for now. And I was thinking that I would like to make shaker cards or just normal cards. I'm not really sure. I have brown card bases and I have white card bases, and I really like brown because you can do so much with a brown card base. It's very soft compared to black. So I was thinking I could make like a vintage card, but I don't have any gold pen left that I can write on the inside with. So I'm not really sure. I have like black cardstock also and red cardstock, but I don't really think that's more a Christmassy. I have also gray. I could make cards on a gray card base, but like when my gift bags are gold and the flowers are pink, the teacups, the pots are black, the strings are copper and gold. So I want to like have the same color scheme. Is that what scheme? But we could do like more wood feeling to it. This is a Christmas like, but we can still use it. Doesn't have to be Christmas, can be any. Could just use the woodland themed things. I do have some, but I don't know. I had hoped for. I'm not sure what to do really. This is usually what I do as well. I just sit and look and flip through stuff in my stash, and then when I have done that like 50 times, I go back to like the basics, what I usually do. And it's like I use a lot of music note paper, and that's what I used for the latest card that I made for Faithful Designs by Christy. I made a card with a fairy, but I don't have enough time for some coloring now. I was hoping I could just throw something together really quick, but it doesn't really work like that. I want it to be nice and stuff. So maybe we can use, I have this very interesting paper pad. I don't know if you can really hear me now. I haven't really used this that much. I made like a monthly mini that I haven't really done anything in so far. But it has, some of the papers are very pretty. So I was thinking we could use something from this one. And for those I've used, like I've used almost every sheet of this paper. I have one sheet left of this paper. And then there's another one that I like. This one I've used every sheet except this one. So those two are my favorites, and then there are a ton left, of course, of different papers. So I'm not really sure. Not really sure what to use. But I wanted to, maybe this one. I think this is really cute. Or I have, let's just use, I got it now. I have this book of birds, and we're just going to use some birds from this book. You know, usually I don't cut up books that much. Here's just some coffee dyed papers I'm going to use later. But we could just pick a bird. Unfortunately, they sit on top of each other a lot in this book, but they have beautiful illustrations like these are gorgeous, gorgeous birds. And like I wanted some of the more subtle brown birds, I think. But I was hoping I could find one that's a little bit bigger than these ones for a card that size. Like this size. The problem is if I cut them out, you know, from the, they are very, there's a lot of small details to them. So let's see, I could use this one. The feet are really hard. You like need to have a magic scissor to, oh, and I found my Sharpie scissor the other day, and you know, as expected, I had put it in like a insanely stupid place, so I couldn't find it. It was like in the same drawer as my washi tapes, and like, why would I put it there? I don't understand myself sometimes. But the important thing is that I found them, found it. When you talk about scissors, it's like it's two, but it's also one. It's confusing sometimes. So I can't really decide which bird to use, but I think I'm going to use this bird perhaps. But it's so, I want to like have a brown, subtle brown bird. I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to use this one. So I almost feel guilty when I do that. It's, you know, ruining books. It's almost forbidden. Oh, I found my scoring tool here as well. Goody. So I'm going to put these things aside a little bit. Just cut the birds I want. And I might pick another one. Or use like two for the same card. I think I'm going to use two birds for the same card, so it gets like a frame. So they are going to sit like this on the card. And I'm going to save the branch here. Then I'm just going to distress around the bird. The way around. Yeah, and this is me fussy cutting. And you know, most crafters, they leave like a white edge around their project, or like when they fussy cut, and I don't know, I don't really like that. Sometimes it makes your project pop, you know, in a nice way, and sometimes like the cuts just look out of place somehow. I like it when they sort of blend in together with the project, like they're supposed to be there, or you know, they're obviously supposed to be there, but like they are a part of it more somehow. So I like to fussy cut and like remove all the white. And one of the downside is that I have to cut, you know, away much more, and it leaves a lot of flimsy edges. So I mostly back my fussy cuts on cardstock just to make them a bit more sturdy, but it also gives them like a white edge. So yeah, I don't know. And I could have kept the branch there. I just cut it off. Didn't think about it. Didn't think ahead. And like, when I scheduled this stream, I was thinking that I was going to do some journaling in my journal. And then I realized today that I needed to get this gift, so I didn't really have that much time either to plan for the stream. Usually I, you know, have like a plan what I'm doing. So today I don't really have, I have no idea what I'm doing today. So that's that's why things are a little bit weird. So we're doing 2 more birds because I'm making 2 cards. And they are going to sit like this, maybe, or this on the other card as well. Just do. And I was thinking that I'm going to back the card on musical note paper. I wasn't sure though if I'm going to make this. I wanted to make a shaker card, but it takes a lot more. You know, you have to do a lot more to make a shaker. So I'm not really sure if I should. I will have to think about that while I am working. And I have some very pretty gold die cuts that I want to use in this project, since the paper bags are gold, and like the swirly ribbon thingy, I don't know what that's called, is gold as well. So I'm going to dig them out. I'm just going to clear this away. I really like the birds. And all that. You can find a lot of like nature themed things and illustrations from books. And I get mine from secondhand stores. And it's really cheap. It's like a few Swedish crowns, between like 5 crowns and like 20 crowns, and that's maybe between a little bit more than $1 or like $3 maybe. So, and lots of, or actually I've found it harder lately to find these beautiful books with like beautiful watercolor illustrations, like botanical books and stuff. And I think that there are you know, a lot of scrapbookers or people who journal, who have like realized that you can get all of these beautiful images from old books. So yeah, people buy them again. Before there were always like beautiful books, illustrations, or I just used to be lucky and I'm not anymore. I don't know. So, but this bird book, like my mom has a lot of these, but I cannot take her books, of course. So here are my birds, and here's my card base. So I'm going to start out taking 2 out of this. And I was thinking, like, if I back it on the musical note paper, and then add something on top, or I just, no, I'm going to get the die cuts. Oh, I don't know why my camera gets so crooked. I hope it's better. Yeah, it looks better. So I'm just going to have to climb a little bit to get my die cuts. I have them in like a box over here. I have this beautiful like booklet Christy gave me in our shop, and it's a lot of die cuts. So, and she gave me both gold and white, so I'm going to use the gold, and I have some of the ones she got me when I won her giveaway left, so I'm going to look at those as well, if I can like find some that I want to use for this project. And I guess the bird cage could be, I don't know, if you like add the birds on the outside, it could be nice. And like if I have the shaker behind the cage, but maybe the musical note paper should be around and then there's something else. I don't know. Like one with a cage and one with this beautiful die cut. I really like this one. But I don't know if the cage is like if this symbolizes something, you know, like birds in a cage. I don't know. Not really sure about that one. Oh, I like this one as well, but I think that I'm going to use these two for this project. Put this back into the box and hope that I have lots of stuff up there, so I really hope it won't like hit me on the head. So, and I have some like more neutral color papers that I was thinking that I could use, or maybe like these. This one is kind of let's see how is this working out. Muted pinks and that kind of, I don't know why but I haven't really like found the right use for this, because I don't really like the colors, you know. It looked a lot more pink. I ordered it online, and then when it came home the colors were very dirty and like a much darker than I expected. So, and I guess it's a little bit, it's not the same with this one, but I kinda, yeah, I was a little bit disappointed with this one as well, to be honest. It wasn't really what I expected, but maybe I can use these pinks I have. I intended to use them for something else in another project, and then I didn't. So, and I covered them with gesso to make them fit with something else, and then they didn't fit anyway, even though I covered them. So It's my hair hanging down over my nose. That's why I'm doing this all the time, because it tickles. Tickles a lot. So I was thinking I'm going to back this with musical note paper, and then I'm going to add this on top to like, and I'm going to pop this up a bit. I'm going to add the shaker behind this. So we need like a little cardboard thing, and I do have some cardboard up here. You know, these pizza boxes are great for shipping papers, so I get a lot of pizza boxes. So I try to use as much of this stuff as possible, just because I don't like to, you know, use or throw away stuff. I want to like use stuff as much as possible. Also, when I send like happy mail to other people, I try to use reused packaging, but I also really like to, you know, send pretty packaging with my happy mail. So I try to use like shoe boxes and stuff that that looks neat. All you have to do is like add some paper. So yeah, I think I'm going to take out my large cutter to cut. So I'm going to measure my card base, and it's 15.5 by 15.5, and that's like six inches, a little bit more like than 6 inches. So we are cutting the musical paper to, we're going to make two of them. I'm going to cut it to 15, like that, 15 by 15, and I don't want the title. And that's too late to cut it off. 15. So, and I don't think this is, oh, that's a bummer. I should have checked that out before. Anyhow, I'm going to put those pieces aside. So this time I am going to cut on the other, like the other side. I'm going to cut it differently. I'm going to cut it like this instead. But I'm still going to cut the title off. And then taking it off here. My god, my desk is a total mess right now. Total mess, mayhem mess. But that's okay. So there we go. Now we have these two pieces, and then I'm going to cut these two pieces, and I was thinking that I would like a border around, and so I'm going to cut these to 14 by 14. then I will have like a half of a centimeter's border around. And this has been folded, but I don't really think that's going to be a problem. There. And I want to distress the edges, if I can find my distress ink. Here it is. So I'm going to use some walnut stain. I really wanted to use Vintage Photo, but I think that it has fallen underneath my desk, and I have like a lot of stuff underneath my desk, so I don't understand why my camera gets this crooked all the time. I really hope. I'm just going to have to check in my like immediate window here, where I can see right away what I'm doing. Okay, but it looks better now. I really hope that it looks better. And that I'm like in frame. So some distressing around the edges, not much, just for it to like get a little bit of a frame. I'm going to cover most of it up with the pink anyway. I don't know what that is. But then I am going to cut a window in the frame. So here's the note paper, and here are our cards. So, and I don't usually use glue stick. Usually I use the PVA glue, but I am using glue stick now because I have almost run out of PVA glue. And I have to order it online to get more, and then there will be shipping and stuff, so, and yeah, so I'm going to wait a little bit for that, and I'm going to make do with the glue stick, and I do have some the PVA glue left, but the bottle is totally clogged. So I use a brush. It gets very wet and the paper bubbles up. So here are the base, and then we're going to add this on top. So I am going to make like a window for the shaker. So let's see which side is the upside and which I'm going to use, like this side, I think. I guess it works both ways. I prefer this as the upside. Okay, so we're going to use like the back and then the back of the die cut, and I guess I wanted like a little bit to the side. And then let's see if we have a pencil here. No, but here's my ball tool. Here we have a pencil. So, and I guess you could use like a low tack tape for this. I am not that kind of, you know, we would say ordentlig in Swedish. I'm not really sure how to say that in English. Proper. You do things the proper way. I don't do things the proper way. So here's the window, and I'm going to have to cut like on the inside of the line, because otherwise the hole is going to be too big, or the window is going to be too big. So I'm cutting like, is it 1/4 of an inch perhaps on the inside of the guideline, because I still want it to be covered by the die cut, even though it needs to be on the inside. So if I try this out, it looks really good actually. I'm surprised. So this is our first one. And here's the second. And I'm not really sure how I want this to look. I was thinking maybe like just this part, or all the way around. I think all the way around. It's going to be a tougher one to cut, but we're going to try it. I don't know, maybe I should put it to the side like this. Yes, I am going to do that. So, but I'm going to, and I think this is going to be a tough one. I'm just going to do like guides like this to see where the edge is, and I'm going to have to cut really close to that. It's only, and it's very tiny, like this part of the die cut is very thin, so it needs to be close here. But I'm going to have plastic underneath to make the shaker, so it's not going to be like an issue how it would stay on the top of the paper. It's just for like hiding the edge. I don't really think this is going to be a problem. It looks like it's going to fit really well. Yeah, and I think this looks really good too. Even though it might be a little, it's going to be more neat once I get the plastic behind it, so I can glue it down, but it covers the edge entirely, and then I can add like the bird on top. But I'm going to distress the bird a little bit. I'm not sure, I don't think I'm going to whitewash it or anything. I think I'm just going to leave it just like this. But on the other hand, I think I'm going to distress the pink. I'm just going to look how it looks distressed on this piece. To make it a little less. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Here, distressing the pink. Yes, I think so. It makes it a little bit more muted. I thought that it was popping a little bit too much, and it's probably why I didn't use it in the journal that I like distressed it for in the first place, or whitewashed it, because I wanted to use it in a journal, but it popped too much compared to because the journal was very like muted, and so it had too much color in it. But you know, you can really change something by simply distressing the edges, because it both gives a little bit of a frame, and it also like takes away the crispness, you could say, that new things have. And I'm totally in love with vintage things, so that's a really good thing to distress your projects. So, and I think that I'm going to add like some lace on the bottom, or maybe all the way around, but I don't think that I'm going to add all the way around, because I am going to add the birds on top, but some lace just to get this part less open, because it was so much of the, I didn't think about this, but to make it a shaker I need this part to be hidden. So I didn't thought that one through really, but I think I'm going to start out with this one, because it's going to be the easiest one. So just the bird cage on top here. I might want something in these holes. I'm not sure I like them that much. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to attach this with glue stick, but we can try. I think I'm going to use glossy accents, or it's not glossy accents, it's clear gloss, but you get the idea, on top of the plastic later on. And I have glue everywhere, everywhere. Maybe I could just leave this like this without doing a shaker. I don't know. And if I had done it the smart way, I could have just put this on top of the cardboard. Yeah, I am going to do this the smart way. So this is going to make it so much more easy for us. To make the shaker. So this is our shaker pocket. And yeah, can make this a little bit bigger just so it won't be visible. But I still want it, you know, the same shape if possible, just to like keep the things that you shape in frame. Otherwise they have a tendency to like fall out of frame, so you can't even see what you're shaping. And I think that's kind of sad. So I want them to be in frame. And I guess I could paint the edges or whatever. I could just fold something for it to look a little bit more neat from the side. Ugh. I got something out of my shirt. So here's our shaker pocket, and now I am going to add some plastic. I think I have some plastic here. I just use laminating pockets without anything laminated, so it makes just clear plastic. And it's like the cheapest alternative, I think, at least, to like craft plastic or that kind of sheets that people buy for this purpose. I know it's in here somewhere. Oh, sorry. That was not intentional. It was a bit more heavy than I expected. My apologies. And now I need to adjust this again. I'm such a beginner. So I think that's it. Found it. So I also save packaging, of course, because it's also cheap plastic. It usually is a bit scratched, you know, when you take the laminating sheets. Mostly they come out very neat. This one isn't though. I'm not really sure what happened to that one. So here's one that looks better. But we can use both of them. So I just simply add it on top and glue it in place. And then I glue my other paper in place. You can just wipe this off a little bit, just to make sure there isn't anything on it. that made it worse. Actually, there's some kind of a soap on baby wipes, so I found that. Okay, using my shirt. That's what you use for wiping off your plastic, your shirt. So I'm giving it a little bit of a V shape on top. We're going to cut it down a little bit more, like that. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So I have my PVA glue on the floor at the moment. And this brush is already ruined, so it doesn't really matter. But I don't recommend you use like good brushes for this, because it ruins your brushes, even though if you clean them out it ruins the brushes eventually, because you are going to forget to clean them out. Or that's what I do, at least. I forget to clean my brushes and then I ruin them, so I don't use my nice brushes for this purpose. Never ever 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 again. So just wiping it off a little bit. There. Adding the plastic. And as you can see, I added the glue like too far from the edge here, but I think I'm going to like dip it in there. Oops. So, and then let's see, I'm going to add like glue on top of the plastic just to make sure it sticks, and then I'm going to add glue stick for the rest of the cardboard. But the plastic is a bit trickier. I know the PVA glue is good for this purpose, so I use PVA glue as well when I glue like laces on top of plastic. I used to use like clear gloss before, but I don't really think that it worked very well. I know that some crafters use clear gloss for gluing, or glossy accents. I'm not sure if it's different from clear gloss, so I guess it's basically the same thing. And I forgot to add the glue. There. I was just talking about glue and then I forgot about the glue. Isn't my logic fantastic? And I'm out of frame again. It's like I want to craft in my lap. So I think this is probably could be like deep enough for some sequins. It's probably deep enough for, I'm going to use sequins for this. I don't want like a lot. It's going to be some, where's my sequins anyway? I have like glitters here, but that's not what we will see. I remember I moved a lot of my boxes, but I can't really remember where I put them. There, right in front of my eyes, of course. There's the best place not to see stuff. So I was thinking I can use some of these bronze color ones. I can pick out some pinks. I guess I could use these ones instead of these pinks. And I have some white. I could use those. But I think that's about it. And then I can take some pink seed beads as well and put it in there. That's going to be good. Look good. If the seed beads is like small enough, but we'll figure something out. And we want them like turned the other way, but I don't think, for some reason they always turn even though there's not enough space for them to do so. But I think I'm not going to use seed beads. I don't think the pocket is deep enough, so we're going to have to, oh, wrong side. We're going to have to make do with these, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be fine. I would have liked some like not so shiny sequins. I'm going to rip them off one by one. No, I'm not. This is too annoying. But I feel that I need something more. Maybe I should remove the white ones, or the more have like these are a little bit more muted. It's like I feel they don't really go together, but on the other hand I have I can't see the pink together with this, and because it's going to look more like this. Let's take on some of these as well. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. So we're going for this. These and these, and I'm putting this away. So, oh no, 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 no. So I'm going to add glue around the edge here, and this is important, otherwise it's going to leak. I'm not using glitter. If you're using glitter, this is super duper duper important, but I'm only using sequins, so it's not going to leak, but yeah, it's still important around the edges because we want this to really stick. And I haven't really thought about, you know, I could have just added the musical note paper on top on the back, because now the positioning of this is going to be a little bit tricky, but I am going to try. To just put the card on top, and there are going to be some seconds for me to like make some adjustments. Sorry. It's just that I have to work really fast here so it doesn't stick, but I didn't intend to do that. So I hope I'm back in frame again. Yeah, it looks like it. So this is my shaker. I'm going to clean this glue up so we don't have any accidents. Now when I've got this far, I don't want any accidents. No accidents. So, and where's our bird cage? Here's our bird cage. And I have my clear gloss here. So I'm going to add some. My goodness, wasn't that like the stupidest thing ever? Sometimes I just don't know what to do with myself. And I do that. I push really hard on my other glue bottle just because it's necessary. I should have seen that coming, but I did not. I just, oh my god, so stupid. I really hope I can just wipe it off. Yes, I could. Good. I'm going to just wipe it off on top as well then. There. So I'm so happy I didn't ruin it. So I'm tossing this now so I don't mess something up again. It's almost like I like it without the cage more, but now it's glued on there, so, and I could have filled it up more as well, I guess. It's like I pressed it down when I added the cage, but it's good enough. So I could like add one bird here on top, and then one here at the bottom. I'm not sure I like this red one. I might have to swap it out for another one. I think this looks rather nice. Oh, Hi, I didn't see someone typing in chat. Yeah. Hi, Crafty Joy. I'm so happy you joined me. And you saw my accident. Yeah. I really hate when that happens. So I'm going to be more careful next time. I'm going to distress them a little bit, and I'm going to back them on some cardstock just to make it a little bit more sturdy. If I can find something underneath this huge pile of paper. I have some scrap paper here. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to put that aside, and I hope I can find my sharpest here, my sharpest scissor. And my birdies. And I'm using the PVA glue for gluing the die cuts on, because glue stick isn't very reliable. I think that it's really bad many times actually when you use it. It, like, you know, crinkles the paper, and you can't be sure it sticks either. So, and usually I don't use a brush for my PVA glue. Usually I have like a bottle with a fine nib, but the bottle is really old. I need a new one. It gets clogged all the time, and I guess that the glue in the bottle is kind of old as well. It lasts very long with the fine nib, because you don't have to use almost, yeah. I had like the large bottle. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really love birds in my projects. So, and in like the images as well for crafting, and I really like birds. Otherwise too, they are very pretty. So, and I cut these from, I don't know if you saw that, I cut these from a book with like illustrations of birds, and because I'm making another card, I'm going to replace one of the birds that I cut out, because I don't think that the red belly really matches my project. So yeah, I'm going to look for another one for the other card, but I haven't really gotten that far yet. So I'm just going to cut these birdies out and distress them up a little bit and add them on the card. And I want something like in this corner as well. I think I might add a lace here on the bottom, and maybe a ribbon or a sentiment. I couldn't find, I wanted like a gold cut. I think I have a gold cut that says thank you, but I can't really find it. So I just have to look into that a little bit. Or I might use like my letter stamps, but I only have like tiny ones, or yeah, not as tiny but still tiny ones. So it's a thank you card. So I wanted like a thank you sentiment on that. Yeah, I'm going to look through my stamps also and see if I can find something nice to add as a sentiment. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this branch, but it's very obvious, you know, when it ends that I cut it off. Therefore I am cutting it off. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to leave it a little bit there so it doesn't really end just at the edge. It's like sometimes I keep those things poking out like that, and it's really annoying to keep it like that. And they always bend, and like the paper gets crinkled up, and so it's not worth it. I tell you, it's not worth it. So, and the distressing of the edges is also to like hide the backing paper, because it shines. It's not that it shines through, but you can still see it. It's the same like with the white crisp edges on pattern papers. I like to distress them just because it like removes the whiteness if you want it to be vintage. It doesn't really look as vintage if you have those white crisp edges on, so I distress them, even though I don't distress like on the paper. I still distress the edges. So, and I'm trying not to cut the bird, but I'm still cutting the bird a little bit, so it's like shrinking. I'm just happy I don't have to cut this more times, because then I would have a much smaller strange bird, I guess. And then I'm just going to add like most of the, I was thinking that from the beginning I didn't need like a thank you in front. I'm still going to like add a sentiment on the inside. So, and I really like actually the birds like sitting on the outside of the cage. This dress also makes it looks a little vintage. Jeez. Yeah. Exactly. It's both that I, you know, don't look up all the time, and then there is a delay on the chat compared to the stream, and so, but yeah, I like birds on the outside of the cage because I don't really like having caged birds, you know. At least parrots and like bigger intelligent birds are like supposed to live with a mate and, you know, fly large areas and stuff, and then you keep them in a cage like in your living room. I don't think that, no, I don't like that. So it's like the birds have escaped the cage. I'm sitting in on the outside celebrating or something. There, a little bit of distressing. I think that's lovely. So, and I want like the tail on the inside of the card, but it can poke out a little bit of the pink there. I don't know if I should, yeah, I want it like down here, down here, but I need something in this corner here. Something, and maybe I should like pop them up a little bit or just glue them down. I could add them with hot glue because that makes them like come out a little bit. Oh, it's on. Usually I forget to fire up my glue gun, but today I remembered. So let's see if I can squeeze some glue out of it. I've heard I need to clean it because it's kind of hard to get some glue out. but we're doing our best. And it's a low heat, so I have to like work really quick or the glue like hardens right away. So that's our first one. I need more glue. And my son was in here earlier today and played with my glue sticks, so I'm not really sure if I have any glue sticks or if this is all I have to work with. I have like my glue box here. Yeah, I think I'm all out of glue sticks actually. So, except the ones that went missing. So it's both that I had like a visitor that my desk is a total mess. So I guess I can't really blame it on my son as much as I would like. So I'm going to push it with my scissor. So instead, because it means I'm going to get some of it out at least. Come on now. There we go. This is nothing unusual. You know, sometimes the glue stick just needs a little push. So, and yeah, you can still shake it, but it's not too much to shake. And that's the inside. So, yeah, I think I kind of like that. I could, oops, use my like letter stamps and just do yeah, I think I should do this. I can stamp with distress ink the word tack. It means thank you in Swedish. And if I do it like that, it gets a little bit like a frame. And then I cut these pieces out individually and glue them on, so it gets a little bit bigger. There's some blue on this. Didn't I have a baby wipe here? No. Who is it that doesn't clean my stamps? Could it be me? Possibly. So, and yeah, I'm doing like another set because I'm going to make another card similar to this one. And I think this is quite fun because it is very individual. It looks different every time. Yeah, I guess I could have used pop dots or foam. I have some pop dots, but it gets so dimensional. It's already, so I want to be able to put it inside the envelope, and they also like get snugged on things. So I think I'm quite happy with just just a tiny little bit like that. So, and I'm going to back this on cardstock, and I'm going to distress it up and just smack it on there. I don't know why I am so in love with working out of frame. It's like I don't usually sit with my craft projects in my lab and work. I usually have them on my table. So or maybe we're talking about the letters. That I could like pop them up, because that's a great idea actually. I did something similar to when I made a flip book for Christy, Faithful Designs by Christy, as an entry for her giveaway, with popped up letters. And I really like this. I think I'm going to keep this. Something like that. So I'm just going to distress them some more. Just to get the crispness of the edge. Make it a little bit darker. Talking about the birds, but I think it would be better with it as, yeah, exactly. I think it works better for the letters. Maybe I can put them a little bit crooked like that. I think that looks cool. So we're doing that, and I have some like foam dots or whatever here. So it gets super dimensional. This is a bit scary when you add like individual letters. Sometimes I like add the middle letters first, just to make sure I get, you know, have enough space for them. But with this kind of short word, it doesn't really matter that much. But because these like foam tape dot things are kind of hard to remove once they are added. So yeah, I think this looks nice actually. Or maybe I could move them a little bit further down. Yeah, I think that looks good. And I'm not sure if I really need something else. I could add, I think I'm going to add like a little bit of a lace down here, or I could use like something like this. But I have this little gimp trim thing. Could add it like that. Now you know, I like it as it is, actually. Without the trims and stuff. You know, sometimes it's just enough what you have. I'm going to try one more trim. Oh, here's the, wasn't that the glue stick just now? No, it was a vision. No, I should have added this before if I wanted, like, so the bird could have the tail on top like this. Yes, like this. I like this. We're doing that. No, I'm not going to add it. I like it as it is. Yeah, exactly. It looks great as it is. But I don't know, you can kind of see the pizza box behind it if you look on the side, but I can just add some more glue here because here's where it's like peeking out. Okay, so that's our first card, all done. So then I'm going to look for another bird image. I had these two, but now I was thinking, because I want to work with these, and suddenly I felt that the kind of orange bird doesn't really fit into the color. I want a like brown bird like these ones, so I'm going to look for another one. And like this book, there's like a whole lot of these books. This is like only one of several with birds, and then there are like books with different mammals and fish, and so you can find, yeah, any animal that you would like an image of in one of these books. Really great way to get images for your projects. So, and I was hoping I could find like a similar one with the spots on the feathers. And I guess that I need it to be facing the other way, because this bird is, I want them both to face inward. So yeah, the other bird needs to face the other way. But for some reason most of them are facing from right to left. And I guess if I find another one that's kind of big, it could replace like the ones so I don't need two. Maybe I can just use one. I don't know. But I want the cards to be kind of similar as well. And as it turns out, it was kind of hard. There's a lot of very colorful birds in this book. I guess I could use this one, Sävesparven. We could use that one. Let's see if there's someone else. It needs to be kind of small because there wasn't that much space on the left side. So yeah, I think we're using the spot. So it's these two together. And I'm just going to take like my craft knife and cut that out. So I don't have to rip out the pages or anything. Oops. I never thought of that, to get a regular book with animals and cut them out. Yeah, it's a really cheap way to get like good images for your projects. You know, if you, I guess you can get like the digital images, but you still have to pay a lot for them compared to getting one of these books from a Goodwill store. And like, I don't know what you pay for books in Goodwill stores in other places, but in Sweden it's between like $1 or $3 or something like that. So it's not really expensive. And sometimes there's these really old beautiful books that I get for like my junk journals, and then these newer books with very colorful, beautiful images as well. And it can be, doesn't really need to be like animals, it can be like landscapes, like pictures of the woods and stuff. And I get postcards and stuff like that from Goodwill stores as well, because there are some really beautiful images on postcards. And yeah, they're like very, very cheap compared to buying postcards you know, in a regular shop, gift shop or something like that. So I'm going to try to cut as much of the white off as possible from the feet, but they are a bit impossible to, and I don't really want to cut the feet off really, but since there are, this is so sheer and well cut, I want this to be that too. So I'm going to try to cut the white off. I don't really like the white, but the feet gets impossible otherwise. So this is going to be enough, I think. So I'm going to place the birds like this, I think. You can get books from book sales and tag sales and stuff like that around here. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great with newer books as well, because most of the books in like Goodwill shops are kind of old. So if you need or want newer books, that's a really good thing. And more, I guess, better quality to the paper as well, because like one of the problems with books from the secondhand stores is that the paper is not very good quality, so like you have to back everything, and you know, sometimes it's not even acid free and stuff. So, and that's, I wouldn't say contagious, but when the discoloration you get from paper with acid in it, it spreads to other papers as well. So unless you're like making a vintage junk journal, then it doesn't really matter. Then it just adds to the project. So now I'm just going to draw this, and I didn't really think about that before, but I will have to do something to cover up the edge, because I cut it, I wanted the gate or whatever this is all the way down, but I will have to cover it up somehow. So I think I'm going to add like a lace or a trim or something, just to, because I need something to hold my sequence inside the card. Oops. And yeah, I want to, of course, I want this I want to cut on the outside of the line, because I want this piece to be smaller than the pink paper, or yeah, I want the hole to be bigger so it won't be visible. This, but it's going to be on the other side, yeah, like this. So I think I'm going to, like, it's supposed to be as far as this, so I will have to add something on top of that, and I am going to glue some paper just to cover the print from the pizza box. I have like a strip of paper here that I'm going to use. And it's not going to be neat or anything. I'm just going to like add that on top here. Here's some glue. I really need to break the blade now, because that's That's insanely annoying. Okay, where did it go? I hope it's not in my lap, at least. I'll find it later. So that was so much easier. So yeah, I'm going to cover this with plastic. You see, I might have to clean this. I don't know if it's possible to clean this stuff off. There was something inside the laminator when I did this, so it might be, no, I think it's, you can remove this, maybe not, but we're going to use the part that's not dirty. Yeah, and instead of buying like craft plastic, I use laminating pockets for my shakers and stuff, because that saves me a lot of money, and that's something I really like. I love saving money. So yeah, I'm going to cut that off a little bit more. Hope I didn't cut it too much. No, good enough. We're adding some glue here. Just put my plastic on top. I don't want that to be, it was a little bit scratched, so I just put the like scratched part down so I can cover it with some lace or something like that. So I've glued it down, and now I'm going to add glue on the plastic, and then just glue stick to the pink paper. And last time I forgot about the glue stick, so I just pressed it down and I had to do it all over. So here's the glue stick. This looks rather nice, I think. And I will have to add like a strip here. Oh, I have a strip here. Like the perfect strip. I don't know why I cut that off. So, and then we're going to fill it up with some sequins, and I think I'm going to use some more than I did in the last one, because this pocket is a lot bigger as well. something like this. There. And then just add glue all around the edge. Don't skip out on the glue. At least not here. There, and then I'm going to just add a glue stick to the rest. And you know, keep my craft table clean or I will get glue stains. I hate glue stains. So I think that if I put it exactly like that, I might. No, it's impossible to know. There. I love how you can just pull things around with wet glue compared to double-sided tape. You know, that would have been really painful to adjust. So this looks very pretty. I am really happy with how this turns out. It's super, super cute. Super, super cute. So you get laminated pockets. Are they sold in packages? Yes, they are. I couldn't. Oh, I've tucked it away, so it's really like difficult to get it out. But it's like a pack of 100 laminated pockets for, and they are A5 size. You can get A4 size, and it's about $10 maybe, from just in Sweden it's Biltema, and it's like they sell like pieces for cars and, you know, just random stuff really. But I don't know where you live, but if you live in the US you could probably get them from Walmart, or Michael's would probably be more expensive, but you know, any like store that sells office supplies, for instance, where you should be able to get like laminated pockets. So they are really inexpensive, really cheap, and it basically does the same thing as craft plastic. I guess that they can look a little bit wavy. So like the craft plastic you buy in packs, they look more, they have like a more neat finish to them, more shiny, more clear, you know. So if you want like a super neat project, then I think you should use them. But you know, for just a normal shaker card, I think this kind of plastic works really, really well. And yeah, it's very inexpensive when you compare to getting like 10 sheets for $3. So I'm just adding lots of this clear gloss to this without getting it all over my project. And I'm going to try not to smudge this. Maybe a little bit, but yeah, I think I could have used even more of the sequence, but I think, you know, that it works really well. It's when you get an idea and try it out and it turns out really good. I think it looks much better than I expected it to, so I'm really happy about that. So now it's just the birds, and I think I lost my little piece, my stamped piece here somewhere. I might have to stamp a new one, but that's not going to be a big issue. Just going to use this little piece of paper here. Oh, it's here. Never mind. I'm going to use that. So I just have to find some more cardstock. I have like a pack of scraps here. I always save everything. No, not really everything, but a lot, most of the stuff. Scraps is big. I save it. And most of the time I get to use most of the stuff that I save. No, that's not true at all. Most of the stuff I just hoard it. But that's okay too. Cool, I have to check out. I don't do neat. I am a crazy crafter. Yeah, like me. Next time you make another shaker card, try putting a few small beads or medium-sized beads in it, and it might open it up a little, that the sequence was run. Oh, so yeah, I didn't really think about that, because I thought that it wouldn't be enough space for the beads, but of course they, even if they are like stuck between the paper and the plastic, they will make space for the sequence. I never thought about it that way. That's really clever. Thank you. That's the best part about streaming, I guess, getting like tips and tricks from other people and the companies. I really love to have company while crafting, so. I think put this here. I'm going to clean up here again. I used to use the green mat for gluing, but I think it's annoying just to take it in and out all the time. You're a true crafter, then you're a craft hoarder. Yes, I am a craft hoarder. And I didn't realize how big my stash was until we moved. You know, moving your entire craft stash is quite a process, and when you dig down, like, I could still remember all of the stuff that I had, sort of, you know, when you take it out, it's like, oh yeah, I got this here and there. But you know, when you're trying to do the crafting, it's not like you remember then what you have in your stash, or all the things you have in your stash. And even sometimes I buy things and it's like I get tired of looking at them. It's like I already made the project that I had in mind, and before I even get started, and then or I just, you know, get distracted and do something else, and then, you know, it's like you got tired of the stuff even before you started doing the crafting. I don't know. And then suddenly I can like get really inspired and take out something that I have had in my stash for a year. So yeah, it's kind of a fun and interesting process of how you manage your stash. I don't know, there are people who like only buy what they use and use it before they buy more. I can't really understand that. I have to hoard things. I love to have things and like sit and look at them and stuff. I actually just thought of it. I had a vision. Not yeah, like you. I think I got that. Yeah, but I think that's many crafters have that in common. The hoarding part. So, and some have it worse than others. I saw, it was the funniest image in a Facebook group. There was this woman who had like a huge stash of fabric, and she hid it from her husband and made like she made the boxes with fabric to look like a bed, and she like threw cushions and a bedspread over it. So she had like a fabric stash, a secret fabric stash, and he found it, and she made a post like, oh, I have to auction all of this out, and my because my husband found my fabric stash. So and a picture of like the spread hung to the side so you could see the boxes. That was kind of fun. We have like only one big craft chain in Sweden. It's called Panduro, and when I go shopping there, it's not very often because most of the stuff is very expensive, so I buy a lot from China, and I buy a lot online from like Swedish craft shops and stuff online. And my husband is not really, on the other hand, I'm the, you know, the one thinking about economics and stuff in our household. So he's like, oh, have you been shopping again? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And doesn't think really much about it. He's the one going off shopping like new mouse mats to his computer. And like new mouses. This is one that he bought and tried, and he didn't like it, so he was like, oh, you could have this. Thank you, I guess. I have one that's fine, but okay. So yeah, that's very interesting. But if you need like 25 different kind of laces, I guess you can have like 25 different mouses and mouse mats. I don't know. We all have different interests, and he really likes to play video games and like computer games and stuff. I do that too sometimes, but I'm more into crafting, really. Find it more giving. And in the end, when you play a video game, it's not like you can tell your friends, or unless they also play video games, but oh, I did this cool thing in a video game. And people are like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's interesting. You know, when you craft, you most of the time you like have something in the end. Something nice. So that's the biggest thing that I like about crafting, actually, is like you get a product, and even though it's not always what you want it to be, it's still something, I guess. So I'm going to try to cut the white part here off without, you know, amputating the bird's legs. I hope that's going to work with some distressing. Or maybe I should cut the legs off. I don't know. And I find it kind of interesting because I can like look on my table and then I look on the screen and then I can see like the card in different angles. That's very interesting. Sometimes it can look really good on the table and not on the screen, and like the other way around. And that's really interesting. So, but it's kind of fun to get like two different angles on something you're working on. But I think the other one was more tidy. This one is more, I think I should have left like this part closed and just have the shaker in the middle. I'm not really sure. It's like it gets a little bit too messy or something. Maybe I should just use one bird. I'm going to add the letters and see how that looks. And see, it could be that I only need one bird on this card. That it gets, there's like so much going on with all the swirls and stuff. Yeah, I should have saved like the pink behind here to make the card a little bit calmer. I don't know if it's too late to try to cut that out and add. Yeah, I think this is glued down firmly, so that's not gonna happen. You think it's beautiful? Yeah. Yeah, I love the gold and the like the composition. So, but I think it's yeah, it's like a lot happening. I don't know. I would like to calm it down a little bit. I'm not really sure how to do that, but I am going to add some lace here to cover this up, so it might like calm it down a little bit. And then I'm going to try again to add the other bird and see, and maybe maybe it's enough with one bird since it's so much happening. Some distressing on these as well. It's not that much empty space on this card either, so I'm just going to have to put the letters here maybe. Or maybe I could add them like on the cage or on the gate. No, I'm not going to add them there. Guess all you can see now is my hands. And I think I am going to remove the feet on this bird. But let's just pretend they are behind the bird. Maybe we could add like a bow or something here. We're going to try the lace at least. Or maybe I have like a really simple ribbon. Just to something like that. It gets incredibly girly compared to the other one. Or I could add some, I think I cut that off too much, some lace. Hi. I'm happy someone else joins me in the chat. Yeah, I'm going to add this lace here. I think it just hides the thing here a little bit. And I thought it could be like cute with a bow. I don't know, maybe I should like add it here. I think it calms the card down a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to distress the birds a little bit, add them, and then add the lace and pop the tuck up, tuck up. Yeah, exactly. The lace looks good. Thanks. I am going to use it. I'm going to be really careful. I like this, looks really good when I finally was able to cut the white out of there. And I don't want to ruin it. There, bird number 1. Bird number 2. And I think I'm not going to be able to get more. Here's a glue stick, by the way. So I can use my glue gun. So was it facing upward? I think it was facing upward. We're going to use this. This dries kind of matte. When, you know, sometimes I use my glue gun for my laces, but it leaves like a shiny plastic look underneath that shines through. And I don't really like how that looks, so mostly I like to use PVA glue for my laces. Just going to snip the edge off here. And even though like I add more, I think it still calms the card down a bit. Maybe it's because it's like hiding the shaker pocket. Yeah, and maybe some of this. I'm not really sure, or I could just do, I think, no, I don't think I'm going to use that. Maybe. No, I don't think this is right either. I'm just going to leave it like this. I think it's definitely good enough as it is. Let's see if I can find my dots again. Foam dot things. It's in this like garden sheet. I bought it for the foam dots. It was like on a sale, and I think I know why it was on sale, because the images are colors I don't really like that much. So where did I put the letters? Are they underneath the card? All right. Let the pink and gold together plus the lace. Awesomeness. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really love this kind of vintage color scheme, is with the brown, cream and pink together with gold. Is, yeah, it is gold. I think it's so pretty. So it's one of my favorites actually. Just the brown and soft pinks together with cream. It's really beautiful. Maybe a little bit further down, like this. Yeah, something like that. Maybe put this on top. No. No. I don't know, it's like a disease. I want to add more. I want to constantly add more. It's like the embellishment disease. Goes hand in hand with like the hoarding disease. I'm going to move this a little bit. There. Nice. And then this one. Now I did find a glue stick, so this shouldn't be too difficult. Is this what's clogging up my glue gun? Possibly. I'm going to try to pull this out. Someone told me I needed to clean it, and she was probably right. Let's see if it's easier. Yes, it is. Good. Now we know that. If you have a lot of junk in your glue gun, that's why it's hard to use it. So, and I want like the tail a little bit on the outside. So here's the big question. Should I just leave it like this, or should I add the other bird? It's like, when is your birthday? Well, my birthday is September 20th. And I think I'm going to be 33 this year. So, yeah, I think I'm going to be 33. But that's a secret. It's like, now it would have been nice with a white border around the bird, just to, so you can see it more, because I think it like disappears a little bit with its shaker. But, and it's the same thing with the other bird. Yeah, but I'm going to add it, but I'm going to add it a bit more on top here, like that. I think that looks a little bit nicer. So there we go. So I guess this, it's like, it is a gate, but it looks like a cage with this trim down here, the lace trim down there. So it's, I guess it's two similar, very similar cards, but I'm just going to put this away, then I'm going to put them next to each other. And all of the junk to the sides. So here are my cards, and this is basically all we'll have time for, both birds. Mine is September 10th. I'm going to be a lot older. Oh. I guess you're just as old as you feel, or something like that. If you feel old, you are old, and if you're not, if you don't feel old, I guess you're still young. I can't really remember, someone said it very, very nicely. So yeah, but I think this is all we have time for today. and I hope you had fun together with me. I've been messing around a bit and doing some stuff. So yeah, but I would like to thank you so much for watching, and I am going to stream again on Friday, and I will set the time like half an hour later than what I usually do, just because I have trouble making or a pretty window. Oh yes, this one looks like a pretty window. I get lost like reading the chat at the same time. Thank you. Yeah, I think this one is my favorite because the cage is like more, it's smaller and you can see the birds easier, but I really like this one too. So I'm really happy with the result. Actually, I was a bit scared there in between before I knew what to do. And maybe I will have to like lift this up and add some more sequins. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that because this turned out a little bit empty. So, but I feel young only as old as I feel. Yeah, exactly. So, and that's the funny thing, you know, about getting older. I somehow thought that I would be different and feel different, and you know, I don't feel different from, you know, I could like be maybe not 15 because all feelings and stuff are totally messed up with puberty, but I could like as well be 20 as 30, or I guess 40 is the same. So yeah, yeah, where was I? It's getting late. Yeah, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I am going to stream on Friday, so I hope to see you then. Have a lovely day. Bye.